Why Canadians need to step up and stop this woke culture. In recent years, a cultural shift, often labeled as woke culture, has rapidly transformed public discourse in Canada. Proponents of this movement tout its aims of social justice, inclusivity, and equality. However, a growing number of Canadians believe that these efforts have strayed from fostering genuine dialogue and have instead led to the suppression of free speech, the undermining of traditional values, and the imposition of a narrow ideological framework. For these critics, it's time for Canadians to step up and stop what they view as the overreach of woke culture, a stifling of free speech. One of the most compelling arguments against the current trajectory of woke culture is its impact on free expression. Critics argue that intolerance for dissent. Under the banner of social justice, alternative viewpoints are frequently dismissed or labeled as hateful, leaving little room for balanced debate. Many feel that this environment discourages robust discussion, essential for a healthy democracy. Cancel culture. The phenomenon of canceling individuals for expressing controversial opinions has become increasingly common. This practice not only curtails open conversation, but also breeds a climate of fear where people are afraid to speak their minds. For those who champion free speech, it is essential that Canadians defend the right to question prevailing narratives without the fear of ostracism or professional repercussions. The erosion of traditional values. There is also a growing concern that woke culture, in its current form, dismisses or undermines the cultural and historical values that have long been part of Canada's identity. Many critics argue that cultural homogenization, the push to reshape societal norms, is often seen as an attempt to erase the diversity of thought that has historically defined the nation. By prioritizing a single ideological perspective, important traditions and long-held values may be lost. Unbalanced education. Educational institutions have increasingly adopted curricula that focus almost exclusively on certain social justice narratives. This shift can marginalize alternative perspectives and leave students without a full understanding of history and diverse cultural viewpoints. For those who hold traditional values dear, it is time to insist on a more balanced approach that respects the nation's heritage while addressing modern challenges. The need for genuine debate and unity. Critics of woke culture argue that the current climate has led to an environment where ideological purity is valued over open debate. They contend that polarization, the rigid boundaries imposed by woke culture, contribute to an us versus them mentality, deepening divisions within communities. Instead of fostering unity, this approach often alienates large segments of society. A call for constructive dialogue. Canadians must reclaim their public spaces for genuine debate, spaces where diverse opinions can be aired and scrutinized. A commitment to open dialogue is essential to bridge ideological divides and build a more inclusive society that honors all voices. Taking action. Why now? For many, the time has come to question and push back against the excesses of woke culture. Advocates for change argue that defending democracy, free expression, and open debate are pillars of any democratic society. If these principles are compromised, the very foundation of Canadian democracy is at risk. Reclaiming our narrative. By challenging the dominant cultural narrative, Canadians have an opportunity to create a more pluralistic society where ideas can be contested and refined rather than imposed from above. A future built on dialogue. Stepping up now means embracing a future where policies are shaped through respectful, open-minded conversation rather than through ideological mandates. This approach promises a richer, more diverse public discourse that can drive meaningful change for everyone. Conclusion: the debate over woke culture in Canada is emblematic of larger tensions between progress and tradition, inclusivity and free speech, unity and division. For those who feel that woke culture has become a force that stifles debate and erodes cherished values, the call to action is clear. Canadians need to step up and stop this trend before it further divides the nation. This is not merely about resisting change, it's about ensuring that the path forward is paved with open dialogue, respect for differing views, and a commitment to the core democratic principles that have long defined Canada. What do you think? Should Canadians push back against the influence of woke culture, or is there another way to achieve balance in today's complex social landscape? Share your thoughts in the comments below.